and then we've got Krankdud and JC. My name is Christofalo. I will be commentating for my 5th hour in a row alongside my friend Trigger Michael here.
Hello.
And yeah.
And we are off.
Jack is 15th place on Deer Tier with a PB of 121.36, and Serberoth, let me just scroll down and see if I can find. Serberoth does not appear to have a time listed on Deer Tier. Krankdud comes in at 50th on Deer Tier with a very respectable 126.51. And JC with a 136.29. So anything could anything could happen. Excuse me.
Now, Series Station, there's not a lot to say. It's just a game of saving frames.
I discovered yesterday, a friend of mine told me that you can actually die on the Ridley fight, so I'm hoping to see that in one of these races.
Some very respectable series escape times.
Serberoth just mentioned in the chat, 2:36:30 is his PB, so I would like to see a PB from him tonight. The runners will now just be touching down on the planet Zebes, making their way towards Morph Ball. There are some very minor strats that you can do that save time here, including the down back, which is, I consider it very challenging, but it looks like Krankdud getting it. Very respectable.
Now, I'll take a moment to explain the down back. So you have to either come out of morph midair or run straight off a platform. If you use the jump button, it doesn't work. And basically what you do is you press the direction you want to go, and then you slide your thumb to the down back position to the direction you want to fall forwards while aiming down.
Now, based on PBs, I'm going to go ahead and assume that most of our runners here are going to be doing the old route. There's a chance that Jack might be doing new routes, but like I said, anything could happen.
And we won't really know which way the runners are going until they reach Norfair. But as Christofalo said, anything can happen. We've seen some very interesting routes. The first race I commentated on, we featured a duck route, which turned out to be a very interesting homebrew route, and it was actually quite quick.
What was the route, if you don't mind my asking?
He collects a lot of items early. He got X-ray strictly by grappling across. You'll have to go back and watch the race. It was very interesting.
I'd like to point out Krankdud having a very, very, very clean climb. Jack not far behind him. The climb is probably one of the most challenging areas in the game, as I mentioned before, because if you make the slightest error, it's so hard to recover. But we can see JC having a little bit of difficulty, but able to recover very quickly. We'll see some of the differences between the routes later on when we get to Norfair, as Trigger Mike said. But new route involves fighting Crocomire later on and skipping Grapple Beam, because it's much easier to fight him with Plasma Beam, as it only takes one shot to kill him.
And it optimizes movement in the rooms before and after grapple as well.
There are some major differences, though. New route is significantly harder and involves some clipping through walls. Anyways, looks like Krankdud making his way out of the BT room. Nails Alcatraz second try with Jack very not far behind him.
Jack having some trouble with Alcatraz here.
I am all too familiar with having trouble with Alcatraz. It's probably, for all the crap that we talk about, it is legitimately a challenging strategy.
It's something that comes and goes. Like, you can have it one day, and then just your thumbs do not work that way the next day. We're going to see the first two green Brinstar elevator times here. 6:32, very respectable time. And Jack a 6:35.
I believe all runners will be opting to grab super missiles early, as it's very fast.
I'd really like to see at least one runner fight Spore Spawn.
That is my hope for this evening as well.
I mean, I just want to see some Spore Spawn strats.
The often forgotten Spore Spawn boss. He can be entirely skipped in actually, I believe, any route. So, yeah, never gets any love.
100% map collection features Spore Spawn.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, now we see Krankdud, and he hits the return trip, and he gets the quick drop.
That's the fastest way that you can do that room. That's very, very impressive. Very challenging trick to do. That mock ball underneath that gate. Ooh, and he just slips through the platform right there. Very unfortunate.
Jack also pulling off the return trip.
Serberoth, very nicely done with the mock ball underneath that gate. Able to nab super missiles early.
Indeed, that is probably one of your first speedrunning tricks you will ever learn if you get into Super Metroid. Krankdud coming into Green Hill, gets the mock ball.
Going for the D-boost, nails it. That's such a precise strategy. It saves quite a bit of time to get it, too. Serberoth making his way out of the super missile room. We see Krankdud and Jack fortunately remember to hold run across the noob bridge, so they are able to make it across.
Now we just saw Jack perform a down back in Red Tower there to clear that platform.
Krankdud with a very respectable spacer time of 9:47.
Oh, and Serberoth just barely gets the golden mock ball.
Oh, and JC also remembers to hold run across the new bridge. Nicely done.
And we see as he exits the new bridge, he simultaneously fires a shot, killing a cack attack, and firing a super missile at that door. That can be a tricky shot early on.
Certainly more challenging than holding run across the bridge.
That is one of the very first places where you actually need to hold run, though.
Ooh, Serberoth's health is... I'm a little worried for his health right now. It's 64. It's going to be a little bit dicey here. Looks like Krankdud and Jack are entering Kraid right now. Hopefully they'll get the quick kill.
Now, to give a little explanation as to the quick kill, if you can shoot Kraid's mouth on a specific frame, it will freeze for long enough to feed him 3 super missiles. Oh, and Krankdud slightly too early.
Jack going with the slower, but much more consistent strategy of firing a charge shot into Kraid and then 4 super missiles.
And we see Krankdud recovering nicely from the missed quick kill, but only costing him a few seconds. JC coming into the party room with very low health.
We saw one runner lose a run earlier by dying to those key hunters, so that's very dicey. That's actually one of the... And coming up a mini Kraid here, I've lost so many runs just running into him. Ooh, 19 health. He's got to be real careful.
Yeah, this is actually... he wants to farm a little here so he doesn't get health bombed by Kraid.
Yeah, real dicey. 53 health should be enough. Is he going to go for the quick kill?
He appears to be lining up for the quick kill. And we see Serberoth entering Kraid's lair. Oh, and just barely too late with the shot from JC.
Should be an easy recovery, though. If he just fires a, I believe it's just one more super missile, he'll be okay. Yeah, nails it. Easy
very
Kraid
nice
fight.
recovery.
Nicely done.
Very nice recovery.
Finally, it looks like Serberoth entering Kraid's lair right now.
Taking out the key hunters in the party room. Playing
safe
very
strat. No harm in doing that.
I don't blame him. That's safe strats are the best strats.
Yeah, especially in a race. You don't want to do anything that you're not familiar with. Oh, and it looks like Serberoth actually going for an energy refill. The often underutilized room right above Kraid's lair.
Now,
he's going for missiles. Interesting.
Since we see a runner finally going here, there's actually a graphical glitch coming up to this room. Little known fact.
We see Jack entering the cathedral right now. Krankdud very not too far behind him.
Both lead runners making sure to collect that cathedral missile. Oh, Serberoth freezing the mouth, but not able to feed him any more supers in that time. A very nice shot, though.
The Kraid fight legitimately really challenging when you actually have to do it. when it's not just when you miss the quick kill, it can be just quite challenging.
So on the between Jack and Serberoth, Krankdud. We just saw Krankdud pull slightly ahead of Jack's position.
And serberoth finally nails Kraid. It looks like both Krankdud and Jack, grab speed booster right now, so they're pretty close to each other.
Although they are not actually racing. The race is between Jack and Serberoth and jaysee and Krankdud.
Jack taking the time to correct his door transition, saving himself just a little bit of time there.
It saves, you know, a few real life frames.
jaysee entering the cathedral.
Wisely using his missiles, not wasting his last super that he will need in this room.
That's a very good catch. I just noticed he only had one super missile.
And we see Serberoth entering the party room, having a bit of trouble with the wall jump out of there. That is a tricky wall jump.
He's wisely choosing to just shoot the key hunters.
Yes, that is a wise choice, and he makes it out with very little difficulty. That was that room can go very poorly.
jaysee going up Bubble Mountain. One of the more frustrating rooms if you manage to make just the slightest misstep, as wall jumping up there and fighting the final boss, the cack attack, is very costly if you screw it up.
I was actually practicing some Zeus strategies for that room today. Shooting the cack attack as you're coming up, holding jump. Definitely a lot of inputs.
Oh, and it looks like Jack and Krankdud are opting for old route. They're going to go fight Crocomire.
This is exciting to see. I believe all four of our runners will be choosing to do for old route.
Looks like Krankdud going for the wraparound. That shot is it's not that hard to get, but the hard part about it after the fact is getting the shine spark. Ooh, and a nice speed keep from Jack. Doesn't actually do anything, but it looks real cool.
And almost as if he knows, we get a speed keep from Krankdud as well.
Both players opting for swag strats.
I believe a good speed keep is 5 swag points.
It's about that. It's up there. I think it might be 6 or 7.
Oh, it's slightly too low with the shine spark.
Looks like jaysee having some troubles with the room right before wave. I am all too familiar with that. Those platforms can be real tricky, as it's so easy to fall through them.
Yeah. If you hit a trigger, if you turn around, if you morph, anything. If you sneeze, you'll fall right through.
If you so much as look at those platforms the wrong way, they will give you a hard time. Jack picking up grapple beam. Krankdud right behind him. And I would like to point out, Krankdud is 14 seconds ahead of his PB with a nice gold split. Amazing. I've got a good feeling about this run. Ooh, and he just barely misses that grapple. JC fighting Crocomire right now. Serberoth heading towards Speed Booster.
Now that missile tank that Jack just collected, those can be some very tricky damage boosts. If your positioning on the spike is not correct, it will not propel you far enough. We see JC also going for the wraparound glitch.
Jack making his way out of Norfair for the first time. Serberoth headed towards Wave. Krankdud getting a little bit of farm in there. Not a bad idea, as this is your last chance to farm right before Fantoon. I would have liked to see a few more super missiles from him, as it can get pretty dicey, but I think he'll be okay.
There are a fair number of CAC attacks that he will be killing and farming. And in this game, a CAC attack is basically a guaranteed super.
Oh, and Krankdud just barely missing the grapple there. Very unfortunate, but a very nice recovery.
That is one recovery you will want to practice, because grappling after that jump is not an easy feat.
I think the hardest part about it is getting over your frustration, because I just get so mad when I miss that. I jump and I jump and I just keep missing it. So a very nice recovery.
JC entering grapple.
Jack with a very nice red tower. And it looks like Serberoth is heading towards Crocomire right now. A little bit of a tease there, almost heading towards New Route.
Krankdud with a very nice Alpha Spark. Very nice hero shot from Krankdud. And we see Serberoth entering Crocomire's lair.
JC having a bit of difficulty with the spikes there. But he manages to recover very well, manages to get the Shine Spark, goes straight up.
Oh no, Krankdud has fallen into one of the Samus Eaters.
Still in a very good pace, however. We see Jack heading towards the moat, opting to just grapple his way across. Ooh, and he misses the moat missiles. I've done that once or twice, but you can always get them on the way back.
But then you can't do a lake ball.
Very true. That being said, he all he has to do is swing back and grab him, so that's what he did.
Very interesting. JC deciding to open the green gate before collecting the missiles, so he doesn't get caught up on it. I really like that strat.
Serberoth wrapping up Croc right now, while Jack enters the wreck ship. He's coming up on Fantoon here, everybody's favorite ghost. Krankdud opting to spark across the moat. I suppose he has the health to spare, so not a bad idea. Jack making his way towards Fantoon. Will he be given the good RNG?
A few people have gotten fasts.
Ooh, opening with a fast. Nails the first X Factor. Well done.
Oh, too bad. The second round is going to be a slow.
Let's see if he nails the X Factor.
This X Factor is tricky.
That Fantoon just teasing him, but a very nice recovery. Nails the second one, no problem. Jack is wrapping up Fantoon right now. Looks like Serberoth heading towards grapple. And Krankdud entering the Fantoon room right now. Let's see how his Fantoon is. Nice D-boost from JC in the power bombs room.
The hitboxes on those enemies are very strange, so that is a very difficult damage boost to accomplish. Very nice.
Fantoon giving Krankdud a little bit of grief here. Opting to turn off the Spazer. So, oh wow, that was such a good X Factor. Krankdud wrapping up Fantoon with a very respectable 27 something or other on the door there. So Jack is heading towards the spiky room of death, very aptly named because there's lots of spikes and there's lots of death. I think he'll be fine given that he has 3 energy tanks, but as the spikes drop down on you, they can hit you for about 100 damage, and if he takes 3 hits, he might be run over for him. I doubt it. Jack's a pretty skilled runner. Should be fine.
Oh, and JC just barely missing the short charge, going for it again, and gets it on the second try.
That is such a short charge there. I just go for the grapple strat. It's much more consistent. You don't need to mess around with short charging there.
That is a 3-tap short charge. That's a very difficult short charge.
And it looks like Jack is out of danger. Out of the danger zone.
Go home, Kenny Loggins.
Looks like JC is heading towards Fantoon as well. Ooh, watch Krankdud here. He's got a spark that he's charging for the spiky room. Oh, and he barely gets it.
That was an incredible spark.
Now, Jack's coming up on the attic here. We've talked about the attic quite a bit tonight. Quite a few ways to do this room. Some of them faster than others. Let's see what Jack does. Oh, he's opting for the powerbomb strat. I find this is the most consistent. He's executing it so well right now. Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was near flawless for that strat.
Now for the robots. Robots are probably the most irritating part of this entire game. Oh my goodness. JC with it fast on the Fantoon there nails the first X Factor. Could we see a PB? I think so.
Oh, fast. Oh,
Good. Oh, just barely misses the second X Factor. Ooh, that's too bad. It looks like Serberoth is actually opting to get Ice Beam right now. Maybe it's not a bad idea if you're not feeling confident about your red tower, as it is a very challenging part of the game. Krankdud cleaning up the attic right now.
Oh,
Another
Jack
variation.
just
Ooh, wow, nice.
barely missing those missiles.
Oh, those missiles are certainly a bit of a challenge to get. You have to adjust your position on your jump at the very last second. It can be very precise. Finally gets it on the third try. It doesn't cost him too much time. Nice recovery. As Krankdud enters the robots. Manages to clip through one, but it was just a bit of a tease there. He's got to try again. Serberoth going for Alpha Spark. Very bold move. All right, Mike, we're coming up on the bowling room here. Probably one of my favorite rooms. I mentioned this my other races, but one of my favorite strats for this room is I like to check Instagram and Snapchat. What do you like to do for the bowling room?
I usually text people. You know, if I'm on a good pace, I'll text you and tell you that I'm about to beat your PB or something. But that doesn't happen so often anymore.
Yeah, when was the last time that happened, Mike?
Who am I kidding? That's never happened.
Jack making his way across bowling.
We see a very nice bounce ball strat out of JC.
Krankdud coming into bowling right now.
And Serberoth clears Hellway with very little trouble.
Is that what it's called, Hellway?
I believe so.
Ooh, Serberoth getting Vile Plumed. Too bad.
JC having some trouble getting onto that first KO.
Jack picking up the swimsuit with a very good time of 32:45. JC having a bit of trouble in the E-tank room. It's if you fall into that water there, it just costs so much time. Fortunately, he's able to make a very clean recovery. Just grapples across, no problems there. Krankdud heading towards the swimsuit. And JC falls in the water again, but very clean recovery. Ledge grabbing those platforms underwater is actually so hard to do. And he'll be making his way out of wreck ship too.
Serberoth getting grabbed by the piranha.
So here's a question for you, Mike. How many times have you come across gravity suit, fired the shot, and ran straight through it?
I have done it, but I've never made it through the door.
I did it exactly once and never again. Always pause there. Oh my goodness, Krankdud going for the speedball through to lake missiles. Almost gets it. Very nice attempt.
I practiced that for about half an hour and got it once.
Yeah, that's such an impressive strat.
And it is a very difficult strat.
Krankdud going for lake ball. Let's see if he gets it. Ooh, so close.
So close.
Did you see if Jack stopped the ship or not?
Jack did do a ship trick.
Wise decision in a race. Can't take any risks. Oh, and he nails the wraparound shot first try. That's very impressive. So he's going for the Gauntlet Spark, which is, I believe, the longest spark in the game.
I'm just gonna take us back a second to that wraparound shot. That shot is a pixel perfect shot.
And Jack nailed it first try. Not bad. Serberoth with a nice spark heading towards Wreck Ship. Not bad.
And 263 energy. He is in good shape.
He should have no problems with Fantoon. Do you think we'll see an X Factor from him, or do you think he's going to opt for the safer strats of just shooting him with the charge beam? Also, Krankdud nailing the Gauntlet Spark as well.
I believe that serberoth is going to go for the 4-round strategy.
4-round is a very good, very consistent strat. No risks involved. You just shoot Fantoon a whole bunch with your charge beam. You don't have to worry about X Factoring.
I mean, to effectively X-Factor Fantoon, you have to learn his patterns, and that takes days of practice to just learn what patterns he can do.
Krankdud not going for anything fancy in the gauntlet. Wise choice, because I've lost quite a few runs trying to quick fall through those blocks and killing runs because falling through one side and missing the other side. Oh, and a very nice fastfall from Krankdud. Serberoth entering Fantoon right now. JC at bowling. Guess it's time for him to check Instagram. Serberoth going, he's shooting missiles at Fantoon. And now Jack here should be going for a mock ball on his way out from this powerbomb room. Saves a significant amount of time. Oh, and he nails it first try. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's a good 6 to 8 seconds that saves.
Yeah, because otherwise you end up falling down that shaft there, which just is so costly.
And we see serberoth still tangoing with Fantoon, but his health is good. He does not look to be in any danger.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going for a Doppler strat, actually, which is, you can get the 2-round with the Doppler just as well. Not a bad choice there if you're a little apprehensive about your Fantoon. Some very nice strats from Jack here. Let's see if he's going for the fast fall in this room here. Looks like he will be, and he gets the fast fall. Let's see if he can make it back up. JC picking up the swimsuit pretty quick here.
Oh, and an incredible show of skill from Jack there.
That's one of my favorite strats. It's so hard, but so impressive.
Serberoth should be finishing off Fantoon here.
Looks like the ghost is dead once again. He's killed the ghost. I don't quite know how that works, but nicely done, Serberoth. A bit of a swag mock ball from Krankdud.
I like that speed ball.
Krankdud safely going for the powerbomb strat there, laying the powerbomb so it destroys those blocks and he doesn't have to jump his way back up.
And we see JC opting for the safe strategy of a ship trip.
Wise decision. In a race, you don't want to take too big risks, otherwise, you know. Krankdud wisely choosing to skip Spore Spawn and grabbing his missiles from the other side.
That's a good move.
Saves about 2 minutes as opposed to actually fighting Spore Spawn, I believe.
Even if you fought him on the way up with like all items. Isn't it one plasma shot to kill him?
I'm not too sure. I don't know the last time I fought Spore Spawn. Probably like a couple years ago, honestly.
I fought him on the practice ROM with the hyper beam. That was pretty fun. We see Serberoth doing a little bit of farming here and skipping the spiky room of death and opting for a safety save. A lot of times, if you're not feeling very safe with the spiky room of death, a lot of runners will leave it until after they get gravity suit.
Serberoth entering spiky room.
We see him diving right in there. Oh no! This is getting. This can go south.
Serberoth, no! This is why I took the safety save. Run is not over.
Very wise decision. That spiky room can be cruel.
So we see Jack coming up on Main Street right now, going for the short charge to grab that missile pack. Gets it second try. Wow, nicely done.
We see Jack coming up on Turtle Tank. A very smooth entry to the turtle room.
Serberoth so close to making his way through the spiky room, but just having a little bit of difficulty.
That was a very swag backup grapple strat from Jack.
Yeah, the wrecked ship, probably one of the hardest parts in the, well, most of the technical parts of the run. Meridia as well. It's pretty hard to die in Meridia, but it is so difficult to save time. Some of the tricks that you have to do here are just so precise.
And it's very easy to lose time in Meridia. Oh no. Looks like Krankdud has missed the platform, missed the grapple. That's going to cost him a few seconds to get the missile tank. But nicely gets a backup strategy there while jumping his way back up.
Doesn't cost too much time if you nail the backup like that. Serberoth now in the water. Let's see how he makes it across this room here. Opting to jump across the platforms there. Very bold. No, Serberoth!
Not like this, Serberoth. Safely out of the spikes. He's gonna give it another shot here.
Jack with the swag strats there. Showing off a little bit. Serberoth gets the E-Tank.
A very nice damage boost from JC.
Looks like Jack is entering bottom right now. Probably going to go for the X Factor, followed by 6 supers, optimally. Nails the X Factor. Let's see if he can get the 1 round bot spoon. And he gets it. That's very impressive. So he should be following that up with a halfie or a full halfie, depending on how bold he's feeling. Krankdud not too far behind him. JC picking up the Spore Spawn missiles. Serberoth wrapping up wrecked ship here. So Jack's going to be entering Dragon pretty quick here. What are the chances you think we're going to see a PB tonight, Mike?
It seems very likely. Krankdud appears to be on PB pace.
Very good pace for Krankdud. Let's look at that. 32 seconds ahead of his PB, which again, at a 126.51 is just so respectable.
And we see Krankdud coming through with a very nice bottom fight.
So you notice what Jack's doing here with the Dragon fights. He was going for the Shine Spark method. So Dragon is the only boss that can be damaged by the Shine Spark. If you manage to Shine Spark him, the game will, when you kill him with the Shine Spark, freezes your position and gives you a neat little glitch called the Blue Suit, which will allow him to store a Shine Spark for later on, which allows him to use that Shine Spark to go across the Coliseum very quickly.
Serberoth with a very nice Shine Spark to get that missile tank.
Yeah, so it looks like Krankdud is entering the room right before Dragon right now. Oh, and it looks like Jack got the Womple jump. That's a nice backup from if you miss the blue suit. There is a very precise jump that you can do coming out of the room right after Dragon. I believe it's pixel perfect, and if you just jump straight across without hitting the wall there, it
saves you a few seconds due to maintaining your momentum from a longer run.
Oh my goodness, it looks like Krankdud also going for the Shine Spark strat. So you saw him going for the X Factor there, which is actually, you want to get the X Factor along with Shine Sparking him, which is so precise, and he's going for the Shine Spark right now. Will we see a blue suit? Ooh. Looks like he's opting for the safer strat of just pumping Dragon full of super missiles. Serberoth in bowling right now, able to check his phone, send some text messages, look at some pictures of cats on Instagram.
But quick, come back, Serberoth. You're about to get dropped.
So it looks like Jack is going for the... There's a small time save here in... oh, wow, he got that one. Nice. If you're falling through the sand and you turn just as you hit the sand, you'll actually end up falling through it at falling speed as opposed to getting grabbed by it and slowly pulled down. So very nicely done.
And now Jack in the second waiting room of the game. Do you have any favorite waiting strats for Shack Tool's room?
Usually at this point, I'll check Tinder. Look at the fact that I have no matches, get really depressed, and sometimes I'll throw the run at this point. That's my Shack Tool strat.
I usually practice horizontal bomb jumps. One time I got really absorbed in my phone during Shack Tool's room, and I forgot to keep running.
Sometimes I'll kill Shack Tool depending on how bad the run is.
Yeah, definitely don't do that if you're on PB pace.
Definitely don't do that at all. Would not recommend it. Looks like Krankdud going for the fast falls as well.
Serberoth keeping his shine spark while he does a ship trip.
So yeah, Jack going for Plasma Beam. Now it's time for Krankdud to check his phone. Look at some pictures of cats, you know? Perhaps show off a little bit. The unfortunate thing about this room is there's no way to speed through it. You just have to wait there. It just you have to wait for him to break all the blocks. You can optimize it a little bit, and you can shoot the snail and get him to run through some of the blocks at the very end, but it's such a marginal save. Looks like JC's fighting Botspoon right now. Botspoon does take 10 super missiles to kill, effectively. Or if you hit the X Factor at the very start of the fight, it was 1 X Factor and 6 super missiles. Wraps it up pretty nicely in 2 rounds. Jack entering Cack Attack Alley. Oh my, oh wow! What an impressive strategy there. Jack jumping straight through Cack Attack Alley, not losing any time. He's got to go fast. He jumps right in between those Cack Attacks and right over the last one there. Opting for the fast fall. So what you're seeing Jack do right now is, again, another challenging strat. He was going for the speed keep, where he stores his speed boost from the previous room and then jumps through those speed booster blocks there. It's the fastest way to get through it.
But you can also soft lock the game.
Oh, super easy. JC fighting Dragon right now. He's either I don't know if he's gonna go for the grapple or the shine spark strat. Krankdud picking up plasma, not bad.
JC does appear to be short charging in Dragon's room.
Let's see if he can get the blue suit. So you see Serberoth taking some time to set up his position before grabbing the gauntlet missiles. That's because there's 2 missile packs on either side, and if you manage to fall down one side but not the other, if you're not exactly down the middle, it will end up you'll have to end up going through gauntlet again and breaking those blocks yet again, which obviously costs a fair bit of time.
JC setting up for the quicker Dragon grapple kill and slightly missing it. Good thing the backup strat for this kill is not too much slower. And there you go, JC putting Dragon down.
Krankdud's got to grab that E-Tank right now. This is his only chance to grab it.
We see Jack heading into Kraid missiles with some very swag spring ball strats.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to grab Kraid missiles earlier on, but unfortunately you do need power bombs to grab them. It just seems so out of the way, and it's so easy to forget them. How many 99% runs have you had where you missed Kraid missiles, Mike?
I'd rather not talk about it.
You know what? Me neither.
More than one. Less than 10, probably.
I don't know if I can say less than 10 for myself. A nice mock ball from Jack coming out of the Kraid room. So you'll see JC going for those fast falls yet again. Interesting strat from Jack there, choosing to Shine Spark through the room before Ice Beam. It's actually faster to, if you're running through, just Speedball through there, I believe, but it's so much more consistent to just Spark through there.
Yeah, that's what I should probably get in the habit of doing. That Speedball strat is such a tight strat.
JC wrapping up Aqueduct right now. So, Mike, is it faster to grab Kraid missiles before or after you get Screw Attack? Like after you fight Ridley?
I literally don't think there's a difference.
What's your preference then?
I do it after, but I'm going to switch to before.
Yeah, I like doing it before because otherwise I tend to forget it, and then I'm saddened with another 99% run. Oh, Jack got the Chronic Spark. For those unaware, or Chronic Boost, my mistake. If you manage to hit the D-Boost on that, what are those enemies called, Mike?
Oh, jeez. I want to call them an Atomic, but that's definitely not an Atomic.
So if you get the D-Boost on the not Atomic, it'll push you all the way into the lava there, and you can manage to sail through that lava at a very high speed.
Is Jack going to go for the Speedball strat here? He does.
The blue fireball incoming. JC waiting at Shack Tool, checking his phone now. So you'll see serberoth, he's opting to skip Spore Spawn as well. The way he's doing that is he's got to scroll the screen just a little bit, just to load the super block. Right there, he hits it. Now he can make it through.
That was very nice. That can be a very difficult shot. I have taken upwards of 10 times to get that shot in a run.
Oh yeah. And you'll see right now, Jack, what he's doing, he's fighting Golden Chorizo. A very clean fight. The way he was able to do that, if you stand right next to him, crouch, and face directly upwards, every plasma shot that you shoot will hit him twice. So you only need to shoot him 8 times as opposed to 15.
I'm just going to take a second to point out that as Krankdud heads into Lorne Norfair, he is currently 1 minute and 15 seconds ahead of his PB.
1 minute and 15 seconds. Wow. We should see, hopefully see a PB incoming tonight. I believe we might see something exciting out of JC too, and perhaps even Serberoth. Nice fast pillars from Jack. That's the fastest way to get through that room. If you hold a charge and shine spark through that room, clears all the bomb blocks, and yeah.
Also worth a solid 5 spike points.
How many spike points is he up to now?
Oh, I've lost track.
Oh no, Jack! He falls through the crumble blocks. Oh, that is so tragic. You have to be so careful at that point to not fall through the crumble blocks there, because then you have to go all the way around. There's no way back up.
It's about a 25 to 30 second time loss.
Krankdud wrapping up GT very nicely. So you'll see Jack, what he's doing there is he's holding his space jump through this room. It's the fastest way through it so that he doesn't have to touch down onto the ground there.
And a very marginal time saved by laying that power bomb to prevent the lava rising sound from causing lag in the door transition.
I didn't know that. Very interesting.
Save the frames, kill the animals. That's my motto.
Well, you have to kill the animals because you get banned if you don't. Jack grabbing the aptly named Power Bombs of Shame, named for their purpose in any percent, where when you end up in this room, you, if you're short on Power Bombs, that's where you would have to go to get more. Try to avoid it. In this run, though, I don't think we want to avoid it because this is 100%.
Yes, this is not the upcoming 99% tournament.
You and I would be absolute all-stars at that.
I would skip X-Ray, honestly.
I would not skip anything, and I would end up with 99% because I know I would forget something. Jack fighting Ridley right now.
His health is quite high. Ammo is all right. He could have more suitors at this point. Serberoth with a very nice shine spark into the turtle tank.
Krankdud wrapping up these metal pirates very nicely. So the way he's doing that is if you fire a charged shot at them as they are running away from you, you can actually hit them twice with the same projectile, which is the fastest way to kill them. Krankdud fighting Ridley right now. It takes 20 charged plasma shots to kill him. And then he'll have to jump into his claws to trigger Ridley's death animation.
I find it quite interesting that Jack and Krankdud have a very similar ammo count right now, having both 18 supers. A very clean Ridley fight for Krankdud.
Krankdud, minute and 30 seconds ahead of his personal best.
Appears we're having some technical difficulties on Jack's stream right now. Oh, and he's back.
Looks like serberoth is just entering bot spoon right now. He's probably opting for just firing 10 supers at his face. Pretty consistent way to kill him.
We see Krankdud almost missing the missile tank there. That could have been not a huge time loss, but not ideal. So, looking at JC stream, how many times would you say that you have fallen through those blocks and missed that missile tank, Chris?
You know, I don't really want to talk about it. More than once, I should say.
More than once. Yeah, I think we've all done it more than once. That's why there's the spring ball strat.
Yep, so if you spring ball there, just hold A. You'll just bounce straight across there. But if you opt for space jump or any other, you have the chance of falling through there, and you have to go all the way back around, and it really sucks.
It's at least a minute of time loss, if you're like really quick about it. We see JC getting fast pillars, a very nice display of skill there.
All right, guys, just a heads up. I've been commentating for the past 5 hours. My voice is going hoarse and I'm running out of things to say, so I'm going to let Sacred Hooves take over for me. I want to thank all of you for hanging out with me for the past 5 hours. It was a lot of fun. Hope to commentate some more races into the future. And I want to make sure that you all follow the runners.
Yeah, thanks for commentating with me, Chris.
Thanks for commentating with me, Mike. Couldn't tell if that handoff was part of joke, part seriousness with the whole horse thing, but deserve your rest, buddy. Alright, so let's see what we got going on. That's here. Jack's finishing up right now, going over into X-Ray. As much as we can see from the Chugfest. Krankdud is also finishing up his rounds. We can see JC going through and using a very nice use of the screw attack and space jump to hug the walls in the rising lava room, or excuse me, rising acid, to make some progress. Meanwhile, we see Serberoth getting ready to shine Spark Dragon in the face. Kind of wondering what Serberoth was thinking there. Generally speaking, sometimes on the right side of the screen, Dragon can be glitchy and won't come to you, or recognize that, you know, you have been stickied, so Dragon won't pick you up. So it's like,
you've got to stay on the bottom. If you're up on the ledges on the side, she will just go right past you.
Leading it out. Nope, still not getting it. It'd be in Serberoth's best interest here to shoot her in the stomach to get her to do a left side, right to left cycle instead. Because currently in her current health, she's there we go, and yep, got too close to the ledge.
Oh, he grappled a bit early there too.
Again, Dragon's health pools means just about which side she comes out of. Even though she's flying back and forth, she does usually have. Oh, there we go. She usually has a predetermined side per health generation where she's at, where she's going to go and come from. As you can see, Serberoth is getting a hold on here to hopefully have some fried shrimp. JC has just made his way into Ridley, and we'll be having a fun fight with that. Krankdud just got X-ray scope, and we say Jack, at the moment, getting filled up with his last energy tank. Serberoth gets the stir fry. JC is having fun, taking a little bit of an acid bath. Slightly intentional, so he does not get grabbed by Ridley and forced around the room or getting tail whipped. Sometimes intentional damage is the best way to get around things. And for Krankdud, he just got out of X-Ray, and he's now on his way to finish up the rest of what he has in Brinstar. And JC has just finished off with Ridley. And Serberoth just picked up Space Jump. Huh, I just realized that Serberoth does not have a time clock coming up on his screen. Alrighty, Jack is now heading up on the elevator to finish up his cleanup in the upper half of Old Torian, as Krankdud is now heading over to finish up the last parts of Blue Brinstar. JC is now escaping out of Lower Norfair, and Serberoth is now getting ready to clean up Meridia and head into Lower Norfair.
So, my new name for the missiles that Krankdud just got are the Billy Mays missile packs. But wait, there's more.
It's Super Metroid. There's always more. Even when you don't think about it.
Well, you can always do the space-time glitch and collect more than 100%.
Yeah, but no. I mean, if you got nothing better to do with your time, absolutely, but... Nah, I think at this point they're pretty much more than all set with that. Especially after an hour and a half in, you finally, get it done. It's like, Well, I'm just about to kill Mother Brain. Let's do it again! Whoosh! Alright, JC is getting the Fire Flea Room missile, or excuse me, energy tank. Krankdud was trying to store Shine Spark so he could rip across Mother Brain's old hall and gave himself a headache. Jack hopefully has just collected the final missile in the game. And serberoth is now in the main tube area of Meridia, getting ready to go down the sand pits and collect his last few items. And then it's off to fight Ridley. I think JC was attempting to do a rolling spine shark with a morph ball into this tunnel so he could crash through it, but I think he stopped a little bit short on his jump, so that did not work out for him. Krankdud is now in the shaft, heading over for the final super missile, while Jack is heading down the shaft into Mother Brain's Golden 4 statue room. And serberoth is struggling with the forces of gravity. Trying to get this morph ball. Alright, Jack has the Golden 4 down. Krankdud is entering for the final missile. JC is now coming up of Lower Norfair. And serberoth is still working on this power bomb. Oh, that's probably... Okay, I am being dumb. Hold on, folks.
Alright, so Jack is coming into the baby Metroid skip room very shortly here. Krankdud has just entered the Golden 4 waiting room. We see JC cleaning up the last few items in Norfair. He's got one more missile tank to go in the bubble room, and he will be all cleaned up. And we see serberoth entering just before... He's in Shack Tool's room just before Spring Ball.
Alright, now I actually have the right thing in front of me and I'm not being a dum-dum.
Alright, Jack's stream has frozen for me right as he's about to complete the Metroid skip, so that's very suspenseful.
It looks like you did get it.
Looks like he did make it.
Alright, serberoth is now in the Spring Ball room.
We see Krankdud coming into Metroid 1 room with some very quick strats.
Almost had it all the way through. Slipped a little bit, but made a nice recovery to keep on going through. That's the one thing that's like the easy part about Torian is you want to go fast, but at the same time you have a high chance of accidentally overguessing where you're going and just fly right through things accidentally.
Or if you get grabbed by one of the Metroids, that can spell disaster.
Oh yeah, especially if you're not good with getting it off. And if you don't know what secondary weakness the power bombs, for those that can't shake it off, 3 power bombs will take them out, but oh, the life dream and the frame suckage. Definitely not good for times. Alright, so JC is now in the bottom of Red Tower, getting ready to do the final cleanup for himself. Jack's stream on a halt currently has him firing a regular missile into Mother Brain's forehead. Krankdud is getting ready to set up for Metroid skip, and serberoth is going to plasma.
I'd just like to point out that JC is now on PB pace since Ridley E-Tank.
Oh, he has.
That was
not
a
bad.
very nice gold split. He saved over a minute.
Hey, anytime you can save 5 seconds or 1 minute, every moment's glorious. Serberoth now picks up Plasma. Krankdud is now heading into the Zebetite room. And JC is just finished up with X-Ray. And just an update on Jack, he is still frozen with a missile in Mother Brain's forehead.
I've got Jack. He is successful with stand-up glitch, and he is firing plasma beam shots into Mother Brain 3.
Okay. Alright, yep, now I got him. And down with Mother Brain he goes. That was fast. JC trying to set up a bit of a, was hoping for a bit of a stutter tap into a speed boost that he could use to shoot across the hallway here in Blue Brinstar. Unfortunately did not get it. Krankdud is in the middle of firing everything he's got in the tank for Plasma Wave Ice into Mother Brain onto the catch-up phase, hopefully going to get the stand-up glitch himself. Serberoth is now rolling through and cleaning up the rest of Meridia. And Jack is now on the escape. Save the animals!
Save the frames, kill the animals.
I'm sorry, they're so cute and they're helpful, and sometimes in randomizers they actually hide the most amazing things, so by default I have to save them. They just might have my gravity suit.
Well, that is a very important item, especially for randomizer. A very nice behemoth spark from Jack.
Oh, definitely. That was unexpected, but perfect. Serberoth is now sinking his way through the sands. JC is coming out of the top of the Blue Brinstar section. Krankdud is piling away at Mother Brain Phase 3 with his charge shots, hoping to get some good pointage down here, get the life down far enough that it's only going to take a few shots to finish her off. And I gotta say, I've noticed that throughout this tournament, a lot of people have either, who don't understand Metroid Skip, learned it really quick, or started to figure out how to do the stand-up glitch, because I'm starting to notice that we get a pretty much average, playing field when it comes to times and finishes between the highest, of course, being between Zost, Oats, and Behemoth 115s to 145s in a couple of 2 hours. So it's interesting to see what people can do.
Yeah, I have seen some very impressive strats pulled off by runners who are what I would consider relatively new, and I find the rate that these people are learning the not just the routes but the strategies very impressive.
It's definitely interesting to see how far some people have gone, especially with everything that's happened for them, like, always starting out new, having to learn strats, having to, get used to it, planning the routes, learning this trick, learning that trick, and once you finally get it all put together, it's a huge relief to go, wow, I can actually do that. Case in point, the other day I finally got the understanding of stand-up glitch myself. Still working on Metroid Skip, but I'll get it eventually.
I myself only got Metroid Skip just before the tournament started, and I still have yet to get it in a run, so hopefully I can accomplish that during the tournament, but we will see.
Reminds me of another tournament of famous skip that was done, but I'll save it for a few seconds after this. Krankdud is now on the escape himself, has a very nice shine spark up the top, and is now off and running to get to the ship. Meanwhile, we have JC who's finishing up just about, and Serberoth, who's cleaning up the grade missiles and will be heading onward and upwards. Well, in this case, onward and lowerwards, because lower Norfair. So, do we happen to have the SRL time for Jack879 ready?
I thought I was in the channel, but I am not.
Alright, I just been handed the number, now we just get to confirm 100%. Krankdud has just gotten them out himself. JC is now getting started with the Golden 4, and again, serberoth is still on his way down. Alrighty. No spoilers, it's 100%. Can't just let us have the suspense. Still, nonetheless, congrats to Jack879. He did indeed finish. We'll know for ourselves. With 100%, and if I heard this correctly, his SRL time was 1:23:54. So not bad. 56, excuse me, thank you. I can talk, but medication and talking is probably not the best thing to do sometimes, folks. Alright, JC is now getting through the Metroid rooms, and he's blasting his way through pretty decently, pretty quick. And serberoth is now starting into Lower Norfair itself.
We see a nice grouping strat from JC in Metroid 3 room, or Metroid 4, I should say.
It's definitely not a bad alternate strat for those that aren't used to doing quick Metroids, is to, if you can time it right, group them all together, get them all out in one shot, and then just, time a super missile, hit them all. I mean, it's useful, especially in the fourth room, where you can kind of get enough room if you morph ball in and just bounce off like pinball, so be pretty decent. But again, the more optimal strat is freeze them, shoot them, freeze them, shoot them, freeze them, shoot them, and be off and running. Alright, JC here, starting up with the Metroid skip. He's got that Metroid going round and around like a yo-yo.
Very nice.
There we go, beautiful. Samus in the corner left pocket.
I just realized JC is 1:30 ahead at Golden 4. That is a really nice time.
Oh, if you can save 1:30 going in and have a textbook fight all around, clean and perfect. Alrighty,
That was a very nice short charge, Zeb's.
Huh. I've never seen someone actually do that on the Zebatites. For that matter, I didn't even know that was possible.
And we see serberoth fighting Golden Torizo. He has the right position, and he is pumping him full of plasma beam.
Interesting thing about that is I didn't know about it at first, but just having that position where you can sit on his knee at this one spot and shoot up at him, you do obviously one charge shot, it hits twice, so you're doing it twice as fast and twice as efficient as you would just shooting with super missiles. But super missiles are a viable option to back up with. And as you can see, serberoth was hoping to use that short storage shine spark to break through the ceiling and continue onward, but unfortunately kind of hit himself in the head. Meanwhile, we have JC, who has just gotten into the catch-up portion of the Mother Brain Part 2 fight. And I did want to mention this. Krankdud did finish. He had 100%. And if I read this correctly, he has a 126.51 SRL time. I could be wrong.
A very respectable finish for him.
Definitely. Just about every single person who's competed thus far has had a pretty decent time put forth. So, definitely not bad at all. Oh, okay.
We see JC successfully pulling off stand-up glitch. This is looking good for an almost 2-minute PB by JC.
Anytime you can get a PB or get a lower time, especially when racing, definitely helps boost you up a little bit. Makes you feel a little bit stronger about what you're doing. Especially in a race setting.
It's not the first PB I've seen, and it's really nice to see people putting their best foot forward with this tournament.
Oh, yes. I mean, I gotta admit, I did not expect half the people that are participating to actually participate. So it's interesting to see how many people have shown up for this wonderful, category and shown and proved that, hey, being a completionist is still, the in thing to do. Because for a while, it's been like any percent, and then you had the RBOs, and now we have the 100%, and it's like everyone is like in such a rush and such a high to want to just keep going and do better. But as you can see, JC here, as he gets Mother Brain's head down, is still ahead of himself, so he's definitely going to get a PB coming out of this escape sequence coming up. And Serberoth here is still making pretty decent pace, going over to get the 80% power bombs of shame and head on his way down to fight Mother Brain.
He will be fighting Ridley first.
I apologize in advance. Actually, I should have said, yeah, never mind.
Serberoth having a bit of trouble with the Metal Pirates here.
Yes, just
dispatching the first one successfully, though.
Had a little trouble getting him to put down his guard so we could blast him in the face, but seems to be getting this second one pretty decent. There we go. JC getting a nice shine spark up the shaft on the way out for the escape, so that's definitely going to shave off a couple seconds of torturous climbing. It's always nice when you can pull that one off, because it's like, it's the final shine spark just about, so it's such a huge relief when you can pull that off and go, 5 seconds to breathe.
Very impressive. JC has entered the ship with a 133.41 according to his splits.
Not bad, and it looks like overall that was a
133.45 SRL time.
Looks like he saved almost 3 minutes exactly on his run there, so that's actually impressive.
He had a very good Torian compared to his PB.
Oh yeah. As you can see, Serberoth is now dancing with the Space Pelican himself. Ridley, not Mother Brain. Ridley being slightly unfriendly with his Pogo patterns. I gotta say, the one thing I like about Ridley is sometimes you can pretty much guess and force him into a pattern to get yourself a little bit of an advantage. Like, if you're going to sit there and run in and be like, alright, I'm going to use 30 supers and shoot him exactly at a certain time, and then just line it up perfectly to have him on target for what you want.
Yeah, you You also want to be careful in this fight not to waste too many supers, though, because there's not a good farming spot after this fight. And I have actually myself gotten stuck getting Kraid missiles because I get them after this fight. And if you don't have 2 supers, you get stuck in that room.
True, you definitely don't want to doom yourself to that. Though at the very least, if you're looking for some way to get a little bit of boost, I can't remember which one it is. One of the face heads, you can power bomb it, and they sometimes do have a chance to drop supers. But if you're absolutely lucky on the way out of here, the red key hunters, it's a very low chance, but they could drop a super missile too. But like you said, you definitely want to hang on some supers if you can, because if you can help it, you don't want to backtrack too far, just to fuel up and go up hunting for your last few items.
Yes, and also your ammo this late in the game will affect your ammo going into terrain, since there's a very few super missile tanks you'll be collecting past this point, so not many places to buff your ammo.
Definitely not. Alright, as much as far as like the escape from Lower Norfair goes, it's not too bad. I mean, obviously getting through the Jasegas again, the key hunters, and then going through and making sure you get everything on the way out. You know, sometimes this is where you usually start to think about, did I miss something that I should have gotten already? I know for me, this is usually where the warning signs of, you might have missed this, start to go off in my head.
Yeah, my warning signs go off around Bubble Mountain. The second time you're in Bubble Mountain, just after this exit. I always look at my missile count, and if it's not about 200, I get very concerned.
Oh yeah, because if there's anything that's been caused of 99% runs for me personally, because I've had a couple, one on stream. The first one was Kraid Missile. It's like, alright, not forgetting that again. And the second time, it's like, good extra, got everything going through. It's like, yeah, I got 100%. Did not notice until I touched the ship, and way afterwards that I never grabbed X-Way.
Yeah, I've pulled that exact same run before. And I was like, on PB pace, I thought I did so great. And then I'm like, why? Like, how did I save 45 seconds on that split?
I had the same feeling, because it's like I got into my, 100% split, and it's like, wow, I'm ahead by 2 minutes, nice. Get ahead of my G4 split, and it's like, I'm ahead on that by a minute, alright, I got this. Get to the end of the game, see 99%, and then just, X-Ray.
Serberoth having a bit of trouble. He killed all the fire fleas, so he is completely in the dark.
Can't tell if he was trying to go for a clip or something there, but he seems to have since then moved on.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe you can clip that platform.
Alrighty, so that's his final power bomb in Lower Norfair for serberoth. So that just leaves the final missile on the way out, getting through the key hunters and cleaning up the rest of Norfair. which thankfully should be short and sweet.
Yeah, there's not too much too many tricks or too much technical playing in this next segment. It's mainly just like you can save a frame here and there, but there's no major tricks that are going to save you seconds or anything like that.
Oh yeah, most of the major time saving comes in from the decisions of, right after you get charge beam, it's what are you going to do next? What's your next plan of attack? For most people, it's, well, after charge beam, I'm going over to fight Kraid, and I'm going to make my way around stuff. For other people, it's, I'm going to fight Kraid, and I'm going back up the shaft to say hi to Fantoon, or, it depends on what people are feeling in the moment, because I know there's the old and the new routes. And me personally, I grew up with the game going through getting grapple to get into wreck ship. And obviously now I have enough knowledge that I could get into wreck ship without grapple. But it's just usually about that point in time you're sitting there going, okay, so I got my start game going. Cool. Let's start executing the middle phase where I collect a bunch of crap, kill 3 things, and then go kill something else to finish up.
For sure, and the different routing and different techniques and strategies I've seen already in this tournament, and we're only on day 2. It has been an impressive spread of different ways that you can play through just about every room in this game.
Definitely. So as you can see now, Serberoth has just picked up hopefully his last reserve, the Norfair Reserve, and the missile. And now we'll be heading back up and finishing out the rest of Prince Star and Criteria. Because that should be all that's left. I will say this, though, in regards to this tournament. It is very, very nice to see people of all skill levels trying to come out and, improve themselves and learn more just by racing other people on a scale like this. It's definitely nice to see people's, abilities improve by being put under pressure. Case in point, I can't remember who it was that went up against them, but it was the first match yesterday. It was Behemoth versus somebody, and Behemoth was just...
Oh, that was me, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was me getting my literally handed to me, but, I mean, he was just off world record pace, and, I mean, I can run a fairly good game, but...
It definitely made you think twice as hard about it, going, okay, he's one of the best.
Oh, and
what can I do to change this?
Well, he showed it too, and I, much respect to Behemoth to have that form of consistency in a race situation. That is impressive.
Sorry, I had to laugh a little from chat. But yeah, definitely it's just... This is why I look forward to sometimes seeing, like, the great people go up against, like, underdogs and stuff to see, like, the differences between them and see if, like, the underdog can actually overthrow someone who's been at it for, like, so long. Just because it's nice to see, obviously we have our generations, and just being able to see people come out and be like, well, this person's been at it this long. I'm guaranteed if I can do it this long, I could either eventually beat them or, be at the same level as them. And that's the type of motivational sport ethics that, definitely makes the difference, especially when it comes to speedrunning, is, you sit down and, you might be inspired one day, you're sitting there watching a speedrun going, wow, this guy's good. Guarantee you I could beat him one day. And, you put your mind to it and you actually do it. Or, you learn enough that you pass on what you know to someone else, and eventually they beat the person you were trying to beat. So it's like, it's just a community of people having fun and helping each other and helping them realize how good they are at something, even if it takes a little bit of time to get there.
I know personally one of my favorite things while streaming is when newer players pop into my stream and start asking questions. I love to explain the tricks I'm doing and just generally help newer players out, and it's a great feeling to have new people come into such a great game.
I will definitely say this much when it comes to Super Metroid, though. It is a blast to learn new skills, but you would best be prepared to say goodbye to your friends and family, because once you start to get into some of the deeper stuff, you're going to be on for days on end trying to figure it out. I can attest to this when I tried to learn the Mother Brain stand-up glitch. It took me a couple of days straight just to do it.
Yeah, the stand-up glitch can be quite tricky because it's about having just the right health pool and taking damage very quickly and having just all your ducks in a row, basically.
Shoutouts to Captain Duck. But yeah, it's so nice to have that feeling, though. It's like, wow, I've actually learned to do this. And everything that seemed like so difficult before is like, I can do this.
Well, I remember where I started out and I was watching the likes of Behemoth and Zost and Oats and Goats and just feeling inspired and thinking with a lot of the strategies the runners like that would use that I have no chance of ever accomplishing that. And the number of those strategies that I can actually do now is quite high. And I mean, I've been running this game for just under a year, and my PB has improved quite a bit, and it's something that's very accessible to people. But as you said, it does start to consume your life at a certain point.
And that is unfortunately the double-edged sword that is speed gaming / competitively going up against each other at a certain point in time. So it's like, you have fun with it, but at some point it just starts to eat at you and bother you just a little bit inside. When things don't either A, work out, or B, you get what you're looking for at a certain point in time.
Serberoth cleaning up Blue Brinstar and heading back up to Crateria.
Definitely coming in a home stretch, and he's definitely, from the looks of it, if he was aiming for a personal best pace, he's getting somewhat close to it. I know last I heard he's one of our people who's in almost the 2-hour zone, but he definitely looks like he has a good chance to be above, possible sub 150. We'll definitely find out for sure, though. Yeah, I can remember when I struggled with that little spot there, trying to get into the Mother Brain tank using Screw Attack. It's not exactly a very jump-friendly area, but once you figure out just how big Samus's hitbox really is inside that spot, it's not too bad. But again, one of those things that just takes time getting used to. Feeling, I guess, is the word I'm going to go for.
Yeah, that's a good word to use. A lot of this game, a lot of speedrunning this game is strictly feeling.
I was going to say, I wasn't sure at first if feeling was the right word, but now that I think about it, yeah. With speedrunning in general, but specifically Super Metroid, you gotta have a certain feel when you're playing the game to go, I got this moment, and that's when things start to come together, especially with strats like this one room here for the super missile. It is possible to do all sorts of manners of short charges and, delayed shine sparks to get up through this room quicker. But it's not this room specifically where you start to understand that. A good area, if you go to the Ridley elevator, it's a good place to start learning stutter taps, because that can definitely help you out. That's where I started to learn to do a 3-tap one. But as you can see, he got the super missile. So now he's just going to get the final missile, and Serberoth will have 100.
And his missile count looking very promising for collecting all items.
Oh, definitely.
So, I don't believe, I've been watching his stream fairly closely, I don't believe he missed any super missiles or power bombs, so he should be safe.
Ah, the joy that is seen 100%.
Now,
finally...
just...
Go ahead.
Just to keep people slightly updated, we're at about an hour, 50 minutes into the run.
Okay. So we're definitely looking at if a very clean run through Torian goes well, a possible 155. If not, we're definitely looking at sub 156, 157 at the tops. So it's definitely going to be under 2 hours, which is nice.
Yeah. That will be really nice for Serberoth.
And as he hits the golden floor here, I was gonna say, back when he got the final missile, it's like, such a release to see the last item. And somehow, in some ways, some people will drop their guard a little bit after seeing, like, you know, if you're playing a game, you're going 100%, then you're going for the final boss, it's like, got that last item, you're like, okay, don't need to be serious. And then you forgot that the final boss is actually the entire last place in general.
Yeah, no, that's something that I've definitely been guilty of with my runs, is after I collect the final missile tank, I kind of get very sloppy and just didn't really have any specific strategies for these rooms. And only recently have I been practicing fast Metroids.
Fast Metroids definitely takes a well-timed place of the fingers because of the quick actions you have to pull off with freeze the Metroid, shoot the Metroid to the super, repeat the process, and just keep on gunning. Like, Behemoth was textbook. It was the example of how to run Torian, so if you guys ever get a chance before it gets taken away from Twitch and before we upload it to YouTube, definitely check out the VOD for Behemoth's run, because it's a marvel. Especially to see how it's done, and so far, Serberoth's not doing too bad.
No, he is yet to be grabbed. Very successful, freezing and sniping these guys with supers.
He's definitely taking his time and making sure all of his spots are pretty much dead on when he shoots. Also trying to keep his super count up a little bit as much as he can. Definitely will help pay off when trying to go through Mother Brain. I mean, yeah, he has 230 regular missiles, but super saved is super earned. Oh, goodness. Oh, got away. Tricky part is with the Metroids is you gotta try to bomb them off a specific spot, and I swear every time I try it, it is different every single time.
Yeah, there's no formula for how to get the Metroid off your back. Basically, it's programmed to be as annoying as possible.
I will say this much: it's not the most annoying iteration of a Metroid, but that Metroid's up there for being a pain in the tush. Now, I don't know if Serberoth has pulled off Metroid Skip, but I do know a noob-friendly alternative if you're trying to help yourself out. Turn off Gravity and Varia, and just start jumping into the giant side opera coming. And every time you use screw attack, make sure to up cancel, and you can reset your damage counter to help drop your health down. So that way you don't have to fight through getting so much drainage to get through this section.
Yeah, for sure. And with how technical and difficult Metroid Skip can be, that is a very wise choice if you're not feeling confident, especially in a race situation.
If there was some way to charge a speed booster and take off before the Metroid touched you, I would love to learn it.
I actually tried this with the practice ROM the other day using Spark Suit. Those blocks at the end of the room don't break under speed boosters, so you either need like some kind of ridiculous shot, or it's basically impossible.
So you'd have to do a couple yo-yo skips and then start flying, just to get the Metroid circled around so you can get a buffer shot or two off and see if it goes. Yeah, that's going to be kind of tricky. Thus being said, I'm pretty sure someone's thought of it, tried it, and it succeeded with it and decided it was not good. So again, with serberoth being one of our newer players, I'm not 100% sure if he knows how to do the Zebetite skip. It looks like he's setting up and having a little bit of trouble getting it started.
Now, the thing with the Zebetite skip, going for it the way serberoth was there, you have to do a very short hop to the right and to the left, and you have to do a spin jump. There are other methods, such as the much harder down back method. We saw it was JC with the Shine Spark method, which is very swag, very impressive.
I've never seen that before in my life, so I'm definitely glad I had the chance to witness that.
But when in doubt, you can do what serberoth did and just fire right through the Zebetites. If you're gonna take a room reload or a few tries, you have the ammo in 100%. You might as well use it.
Seriously? Beats trying to sit there and hack through it 2 hours later. Might as well just take, half your missiles, because at this point you already have 230. Might as well just take half your missiles and blow away Torian. But yeah, let's definitely give serberoth some hype here as he's coming into the Mother Brain fight, phase 2 here. He's definitely looking very strong and definitely going to get a PB out of this one. He just got to keep focused, make sure not to take too many risks as he's going through the onion ring hamburger french fry phase. Getting ready for some catch-ups. There's one. So here comes the catch-ups. That's one in the face, but that's not too bad. And here comes the rainbow. And as he gets himself ready, puts himself in a good position, he's definitely going for the stand-up. There you go, back off. That's good.
Yeah, we will see
infiltrate.
if he gets it successfully right here.
So one of the key things to remember during this stand-up is you definitely do not at any point while Mother Brain is still flashing want to touch the floor. Because there is a chance, because I accidentally did this, there is a chance you can get soft locked until the Metroid lets go, so you don't have enough free chances to get too many happy shots in on Mother Brain.
Oh no, he was touching the floor when the Metroid got up. If he was to equip X-Ray, he can actually get back out of it. Not sure if he knows that trick though.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate double standard with this little glitch, is it does have a diminishing return that if you're not obeying its exact rules, you do kind of suffer from that little you're stuck phase. I do not know if he's letting go of charge shots since then, so I definitely hope he did.
Yeah, this could soft lock the game. Oh, he's good.
He's good. Okay. So yeah. Now all he has to do is make sure Mother Brain doesn't serve any more food orders and close down the restaurant. Because food reference.
So the current SRL time is sitting at just over 2 hours. It looks like this will be a PB for Serberoth. I believe he said his PB was around 2:06 before the race started.
That's definitely not bad if you can bring it down that low. I know once this... Go ahead.
I was going to say that is, of course, unless he saves the animals and disqualifies himself from the race.
There's no penalty bonuses for that just yet. Although definitely does not want to see 99% come up, that's for sure. But again, we're almost more than positive that he is confirmed to have 100%.
He definitely had a 230 missile count coming into Turian, so I would feel fairly confident that he has collected 100% of the items.
You know, one of these times when we start a race up, I'm gonna put a counter for myself on in front of me, just to keep track personally.
Oh, he did bump the door there. That is going to limit his chances of
and he got
shine
bumped
sparking.
by, yep. Unfortunately, he got bumped on the way out, so that kind of stinks. So unfortunately, gonna have to climb it the old-fashioned way. And I'll admit, this room's a lot harder than it needs to be, especially with the whole shaking and flashing of everything on the screen. Definitely adds a little bit of annoyance to the mix.
And then this part of the parlor can actually cost you quite a bit of time when you're feeling like you're in a rush. And we see Serberoth do it actually quite smoothly there.
And doesn't even think twice about saving the animals, just hops over them.
He is on PB pace after all. Gotta save those frames.
Hey, you can save the frames and the animals if you get a couple seconds. But now we just gotta wait for the moment of truth. But definitely good job to Serberoth. If all goes well, we'll actually hear from him in chat in a moment. No saving animals.
So the official SRL race time for Serberoth's run there was a 2:02:19.
That is definitely impressive. If he has a 230 plus, that's definitely impressive. 128 game time, so yeah, he's definitely well within, you know, just shy of sub 2 hours. So, definitely good job for him. Now we just gotta wait to confirm the torture. That torture, unfortunately, being the almighty did I get 100% screen. But again, though, it's moments like this that definitely make us proud to have tournaments like these, to see people come in and be like accomplishing things at their own pace.
Well, and that's just it. There's so many different levels of running with Super Metroid, and it is a very high skill game. It takes a long time to learn and perfect the strategies that the high level players, the sub 120 players. There are only a few sub 120 players in the 100% category. So, all in all, just even attempting to speedrun this game shows quite a bit of moxie from these individuals.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, for every single one that comes in here that, you know, isn't into that special, you know, sub 2 hour zone just yet, but is working on it just by watching this and doing everything that they do definitely helps out for themselves. As you can see, the credits are coming to an end. Moment of truth is coming.
Everyone get your deer forces prepared.
As soon as we said that, someone got a little excited. The man himself.
It happened to be Serberoth, yes. He's syncing it up with his own live stream of the game.
Please don't spoil it for us. Dear Forks. So many renditions of this. The Magic Lady says...
Very nice. A confirmed 100% for Serberoth. That is a race PB. 3 of the 4 runners in this race actually PB'd. Very impressive.
Impressive indeed. Always nice when someone actually gets a PB. Alrighty, so that was our last match for today. And what a fantastic and impressive match to end on.
Alright, so looking at the schedule, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Darko versus Ponk from Team Splingball.
Yeah, that was a typo on their part, but we sort of just stuck with it. They wanted to say spring ball, but someone's R button was not working that day.
I like the Splingball. It sounds very unique.
Indeed it does. And then coming up tomorrow, also at 6 o'clock, we have Jack879 versus our trotting running man himself in No Rush from Forgotten Highway. Definitely looking forward to that match. And then we also have at 9 p.m. J-Ro versus DJ Majete from Team Splingball as well. So those are 3 amazing matches going on tomorrow. We also have some more other amazing things going on here at Speed Gaming, so always come back and watch for more on the latest and greatest of speed runs and entertainment. And unless you got anything else, there's only one thing left to say.
Just thanks for commentating with me, Sacred.
No problem. I apologize for my slip-ups. Things happen.
No worries. It's all good.
So, thus said, I have been Sacred Hooves.
And I'm Trigger Michael.
We will see you next mission, folks.